In Part 1, we explored how biology and first impressions may influence height preferences. But biology is only one piece of a much larger puzzle. If our preferences were determined only by evolution, we would expect people all over the world to value exactly the same traits in exactly the same way. Yet that's not what we see. Beauty standards change across countries. They change across cultures. They even change across generations. What one society considers attractive today may have been considered average, or even unattractive, 100 years ago. So if biology isn't writing the entire story, who is? To answer that, we need to look at something most of us rarely notice: the environment around us. From the moment we're born, our brains begin collecting information, not through lectures, not through textbooks, but through observation. We watch, we imitate, we remember. As children, we don't consciously decide what attractive means. We slowly learn it. Think about the movies you watched growing up. How often was the male hero portrayed as tall? How often was the leader the tallest person in the room? How often did advertisements connect height with confidence, success, authority, or strength? These patterns seem harmless on their own, but our brains are pattern recognition machines. When we repeatedly see the same association, we begin linking those ideas together. Psychologists call this social conditioning. Our surroundings quietly shape our expectations without us even realizing it. This doesn't mean every preference is created by society. It means society can strengthen, weaken, or reshape preferences that may already exist. Imagine hearing the same message thousands of times over many years. Tall men are more confident. Tall men are better leaders. Tall men are more attractive. Even if nobody says these words directly, movies, advertisements, television, social media, they often communicate the same idea through images. Over time, repeated exposure can influence the way people make quick judgments. But modern technology has introduced another powerful influence: dating apps. For most of human history, people met through family, friends, school, work, or their local community. They had conversations. They laughed together. They noticed personality before making a final decision. Dating apps work differently. Instead of spending hours getting to know someone, people often make a decision in just a few seconds. One photo, a short biography, sometimes a listed height. Then, swipe, swipe, swipe. When people have very little information, visible traits naturally become more important. Not because personality suddenly stops matching, but because personality hasn't had the chance to appear yet. A profile picture can show someone's height. It cannot show empathy. It cannot show humor. It cannot show patience during difficult times. It cannot show honesty. It cannot show emotional maturity. These qualities only become visible after real interaction. This is one reason why online dating preferences can sometimes appear much stronger than preferences in everyday life. Real life gives people something the internet often cannot: time. Time allows first impressions to change. Someone who seemed average at first may become incredibly attractive after weeks of conversation. Someone who looked impressive at first may become less attractive once their behavior is revealed. Psychologists have studied this process for decades. One interesting concept is known as the halo effect. When we notice one positive quality, our brains sometimes assume other positive qualities exist as well. Someone who appears confident may also be judged as more intelligent. Someone who is physically attractive may be assumed to be friendlier. Someone who is taller may sometimes be perceived as more capable before they've even spoken. But notice something important. The halo effect is an impression, not proof. First impressions are powerful, but they are also incomplete. As we spend more time with someone, our judgments become more accurate. This is why personality becomes increasingly important as relationships develop. Think about the people you admire most in your own life. A close friend, a respected teacher, a family member. Do you value them because of one physical characteristic, or because of the way they make you feel? Trust, kindness, loyalty, humor, support. These qualities take time to discover, and once they are discovered, they often matter far more than appearance alone. Relationship researchers have repeatedly found that long-term relationship satisfaction depends much more on communication, emotional stability, mutual respect, trust, and shared values than on any single physical trait. This helps explain something we see everywhere. Many tall men struggle in relationships. Many shorter men build happy, successful families. If height alone determined attraction, neither of those things should happen, yet they do. Because attraction is not a mathematical formula. It changes, it grows, it adapts. The person who catches someone's attention is not always the person they choose to spend their life with. Perhaps that's the biggest misunderstanding surrounding attraction. People often confuse first impressions with lasting attraction. The two are not the same. First impressions may open a door. Character determines whether that door stays open. So, does height matter? For some people, yes. Can it influence first impressions? Research suggests it sometimes can. Does it decide someone's value? Absolutely not. Human attraction has never depended on one measurement. It is shaped by biology. It is shaped by culture. It is shaped by personal experiences. And most importantly, it is shaped by the unique individuals involved. The next time someone says, "Women only care about height," or "Height doesn't matter at all," remember that psychology rarely deals in absolutes. Human behavior is almost always more complicated than a simple yes or no. Because in the end, the strongest relationships are not built on inches. They are built on understanding, trust, respect, and the countless moments that no measuring tape could ever capture.